Hey, what's up and what's happening, everybody? It's Eric with FisherDrumming.com, and I'm happy to be back on another lesson getting into, you know what, linear fills, linear concepts, and linear patterns. So as you guys know, I love linear concepts, linear fills, and beats because it opens up a new world of possibilities, creativity, and vocabulary on the kit when you can blend in your fills and your grooves together because you're comfortable using all of your limbs separately and individually. So this lesson is more than just a one example type of fill that you can use in your beats. This is more of a sticking pattern I want you to internalize, because from that linear pattern comes a whole world of opportunities that you'll be able to use on the kit. And that's the cool thing about linear drumming, is it's a way of understanding the drums so that you can have your beats and your fills blend together. And once you understand some basic stickings and patterns, you suddenly have all types of opportunities. Once you're comfortable with them and you have them internalized, they'll start showing up automatically as you get comfortable blending those linear patterns around the kit in different ways. Okay, let me set the table for you guys so you know where we're starting from and where we're going. Count 4/4 time with me. This is 16th notes. Okay, this linear pattern is going to take up a whole measure, but it's actually going to be starting on the of the previous measure. So it's actually 17 notes. So we got 16 individual notes plus 1 because we're starting on the of the measure right before the fill measure. So even though this is a long stream of linear notes, we're actually repeating the same phrase twice. So let's think of it as 8 notes instead of 16 because we're just repeating. We're going to play a measure of time, pretend we're playing a groove, and right at the end of that measure, the last 16th note, the 4, E, and that's where we're actually going to be starting this because it's leading right into the whole measure of the fill. 4, E, and 1, E, and 2, E, and. So check out the sheet music down below. Our hands are just alternating. There's nothing tricky going on with double rights and double lefts. We just got alternating hands, and we have 2 kick drum notes in there towards the end of the phrase. So it's snare, hat, snare, snare, hat with the left hand, right with the floor tom, kick, kick. All right? So 1, E, and 2, E, and. Okay, so that's the whole pattern. Then all we're doing is repeating it to take up the rest of the measure, because right now we're at 2, E, and halfway in the measure. So we just repeat it out to fill up the rest of the measure. The very last note gets a snare, just like we started off the phrase. So altogether it would be 4, E, and 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and then we're going back to the groove. So now let's get that down a little tighter. Play it with me to a click, and we can work on getting those notes in the right places at the right time together. Okay, so now that you got the pattern down and you're familiar with that, let's put it in a groove context so that we'll play a measure of groove, a measure of this, go back and forth, and get the feel of it in the actual groove application. familiar with the pattern, we want to clean it up a bit and we want to make it sound a little smoother. Now, there's no rules here. You can play all of those notes at the same dynamic level. You can play them all loud and it'll still sound good, and it'll be that type of linear sound. That's totally fine. If you want, you can try to add a little bit more of a dynamic range in there. One of the things I feel like naturally, I don't want to hit every note as loud. So we have one E. That E, that left hand on the snare, seems just nice to be really low and ghosted. Maybe it doesn't have to be extremely ghosted, but it's quieter than the rest of the notes. That first note cuts through. The starting it off. One E, and then that and can also come in, accented or not. That's up to you. That's part of how you want to make it. But then those last two notes I feel like should come down hard. One E and two. And then the kick drum, of course, needs to come in nice and solid. So naturally I want to play that left, right, and make that floor tom note really stand out, because then it leads right to the kick drums. And if I don't like ghosting that floor tom. So if you're going to ghost a note, don't ghost the floor tom. Ghost that third note with the left hand. 3 E, that one. But we're not going to just leave it at that. I want to show you guys a few examples of how we can just take this sticking and just work it around the kit a little bit more. I'm just going to freely groove, have some fun, and show you how this same sticking pattern, this same phrase, can be changed just by making the orchestration different on the set, okay? I'll move it around the toms a little bit. Maybe I'll throw in a little stack and a little ride cymbal just to show you how we can apply this to the drums in different ways. And that's why linear drumming is so cool, because it's just like a seamless flow between your groove and your fill, and it just starts blending the drum set together in all these cool new fun ways. So if you guys really want to dive deeper into this topic of linear style drumming, then go to the link down below in the description. It's the Linear Drumming Bootcamp course that I've put together. It goes deep into linear style drumming. I'm talking about creative concepts to build your vocabulary. What are these fills that these guys like Eric Moore and Aaron Spears and all these amazing drummers are playing? How do they put these crazy ideas together? It just sounds like they're flying all over the kit. Well, it turns out it's not that complicated when you understand how to just make your kick work together with your hands and bring your fills and your grooves together seamlessly. That's where the linear drumming exercises comes in. It helps you to develop that, ability to flow around the kit. It's also a lot of practical and concrete examples of fills and grooves so that you can immediately start implementing it right into your drumming and become way more proficient and have a lot more fun on the kit. So that's the Linear Drumming Bootcamp. Click the link in the description down below. And a lot of drummers are using it around the world, and we've had a lot of success so far. It's been really cool to see that, and I want to share that with you as well. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe and turn the notification bell on so you know when I'm coming out with a new lesson and you can stay engaged and up to date, as well as maybe give me a comment down below how you felt about it or what kind of lessons you want to see next. So the goal of this channel, guys, is to help you reach your drumming goals with the busy schedules that we have. We only have so much time to put in practice and to reach these goals that we have, and I want to help you do that in the most time efficient way. So I'll see you guys on the site. Make sure you check out Fisher Drumming. Drop by and just sign up with your email so I can keep up to date with you on there as well. That way you can get my free emails, helpful tips and advice to better your drumming. That's a great place for me to reach you on there more personally. I keep up to date with all of the drummers that are on the site and all the members on there. Also, guys, I'm looking forward to the next lesson topics I have. There's more stuff coming, and I want to try to put lessons together for the beginners as well as the advanced players that want something a little bit more challenging. The more you connect with me and let me know what you're interested, the more I can help see what my subscribers want to see and want to learn. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you on the next lesson.